What's up guys, welcome back to another daily outlook. In this daily outlook I will go over my main pairs and not over all my pairs because I saw that a lot of you guys wanted to see my main pairs and I'm thinking of a solution for the people who want to see all my pairs, but for now it's really hard to do it because it takes a long time to upload on YouTube. So when I go to school and it still needs to upload, there's very bad Wi-Fi in my school, so I cannot get it uploaded. So that's why I'm going to do my main pairs at the moment. But let's begin with the DXY. As you can see, we have bearish order flow. So what could we expect? This supply zone to hold and then trade down lower in towards this low and this demand zone. But we are daily bullish. We just took liquidity and we tapped in towards this demand zone. So of course we could get a reaction up higher and then trade down lower, maybe. Where could we get that reaction in towards? In towards this daily open supply zone. Now, how do you know if we are going to respect this supply and trade down lower, or break that supply and then possibly trade down lower? So if you look at the 4 hour, that is where you want to see if we are going to trade up higher or not. So you can see that we grabbed liquidity under these lows. So that is an indication that we maybe have some fuel to take out liquidity above the highs and then again trade down lower in line with the 4 hour trend. So talking about the 4 hour trend, you can see that we broke structure over here and now we have enough liquidity, so we could maybe expect a pullback in towards that 50% zone, the premium prices, and from there we could see some downside. As you can see, we also have some liquidity laying around that 0.5, so it looks like a very nice target to trade in towards and then trade down lower. When do we want to see that upside confirmation, or when do we expect upside? After we break really nice above this high, because now you have that supply which is in control at the moment. But once we break that supply with a nice break, right, then we know that demand is created, and this demand then could push price up higher in towards this daily supply, maybe that liquidity and that 0.5 FIB. So first we need to see that order flow switch, because now we have 4 hour bearish order flow, but once we break this high with a nice close, the order flow has been switched and then we could look for longs in towards these targets. So going over to Euro USD, you can now see that we have not one, not two, but three equal highs. So what do I know? That a lot of people are buying to trade in towards that liquidity. So here are a lot of stop losses. So I'm waiting for at least this stop loss to get hit, then trade in towards this open demand zone. From there, I want to see some confirmation to trade up higher in towards those equal highs. Now what happens if we don't get any confirmation inside this demand? Then we just trade down lower, maybe possibly get a tap in towards that yearly and monthly open, and from there we trade up higher after we took these stop losses. So this is what I'm looking out for, to see some stop losses getting hit, because they are all buying to those liquidity highs, because they know that a lot of liquidity is located at those highs. So after we swipe these people, then I will look for some confirmation and then I will trade up higher in towards those liquidity highs. I'm not looking at any shorts, because that means that my stop loss is going to be located at these highs, meaning that price could easily take out those liquidity highs, right? So that's why I'm not looking at shorts, but waiting for those A+ longs. Going over to GBP USD, however, I'm looking at shorts, because as you can see on the daily, we just took lots of liquidity above these highs. We came in towards this supply zone, and we still have this open demand zone with this yearly level and this liquidity. The yearly level acts like a magnet, so that's why I'm always indicating to it. So I'm expecting a move in towards this open demand zone and this liquidity to get taken out. When do I expect a move in towards those lows? Now, for now, you can see that we are 4 hour bullish. but after you break structure, you could expect a move in towards the discount prices, or at least this daily demand zone, right? So when do we expect that move? First, we need supply, we need liquidity, because you need to check out your boxes. And once we tap into our supply and we took out liquidity, then you would want to see also the order flow change to bearish, so break this low. And then what happens is we create new supply. From that supply, I will look on the lower time frame for some confirmation in order to short in towards those liquidity lows and a daily demand. So this is also what I'm looking out for at the moment. I have my alert on this low, and I will wait for some lower time frame confirmation after we break that order flow. Going over to AUD, you can see that this demand zone is now in control and could push price up higher. For now, we are inside this daily supply with this daily liquidity too, right? This liquidity. So what could we expect? A possible move down lower in towards this open demand with this liquidity and then trade up higher. So looking at the 4 hour, when do we want to look for the shorts in towards this demand? After you break order flow, and that is this low. So you would want to see this low go, then a retracement in towards this supply, and then look for shorts. Of course, the chance that we get a retracement after breaking this low is very low, but I will see what price will do. But probably after we break this low, then we could just trade down lower in towards this supply, in towards this demand. But once we trade in towards this demand, I will also be ready to look for possible longs after we see that confirmation on the 4 hour, and then I will look for new longs in towards those highs. So going over to Euro AUD, you can see that first of all, previous week we tapped the discount prices, which is this blue line. So we were 4 hours swing bullish. Then after that break of structure, we got a pullback in towards the discount prices. So after you trade in towards the discount prices, you could expect to get a new high getting formed. So for now, we created this new demand zone, and from this demand zone, we could trade up higher because we also have some liquidity above these highs and this supply zone over here. So I'm looking at some longs in towards these highs. Now keep in mind, guys, that there is still this liquidity open, and this daily demand, this 4 hour demand is also still open. So if the order flow here switches bearish, for example, after we take this liquidity, then this becomes your low that you want to break in order to get bearish order flow. Once we break that low, we have supply created, and then we could trade down lower in towards this demand. So what am I looking out for? First of all, longs in towards those liquidity highs, because our order flow now is bullish. We are swing bullish, and we hit discount prices. We also took liquidity under these lows, and of course we are now inside this demand. So going over to the 1 hour, I would want to see a tap in towards this open demand zone, then swipe these buyers, because after we took that liquidity, we got early buyers. Then I would want to see those early buyers getting swiped, right? Boom. Then some confirmation, and then I would like to long in towards those equal highs. So this is what I'm looking out for at the moment, and we'll keep you guys updated inside my update channel. But going over to GBP AUD, you can see on the daily that we have that bullish order flow, so we could trade up higher, right, and expect that order flow to hold. Going over to the 4 hour, you can then again see that we are bearish, so longing in this case isn't a plus. But of course, you can kind of see that we are like kind of in this range, so it doesn't really matter at the moment if we are swing bearish, because we could first take out this liquidity and then trade with the daily order flow, and then we could maybe take out the swing low. So I'm also looking at some longs especially after switching the order flow to bullish. So what happened was that first of all, this demand zone was in control, right? And we took liquidity under these lows. Then we broke this high, meaning we created a new demand zone, and this demand zone could push price up higher in towards that monthly open, which once again acts like a magnet, right? So price could be traded in towards that monthly open. So we also have some liquidity above these highs, and with that bullish order flow, I'm definitely looking at longs. Going over to the 1 hour, you can see that we are 1 hour bullish. So again, we could expect a move in towards that swing high. Now we already tapped this demand zone. So possibly after breaking that 1 hour fractal, which is located over here, you could see some possible upside in towards those highs. Now keep in mind that we have this weekly and daily open. So price could get a reaction from that, trade one time under this low and then trade up higher. So after we break this 1 hour fractal break, then this demand zone is being created, and then I will go probably to the 50-minute and look if we see some confirmation inside this demand in order to go long, right? So let's see what price did on the 50-minute. You can see, of course, that we are inside this demand. Then what do we see? We see that we swiped that liquidity under Asia low. Of course, guys, this is fake price action because this is dead gap. I will make a video about it soon, but for now, just keep in mind that you need to ignore these candles. So we swipe Asia low, then we get early buyers, then we swipe early buyers over here. So this could be a nice low. Now after we break this high, then you could be ready to look for higher prices, right? Also, this high is very bad because this is a mid-Asia high, and you often see those highs getting taken out. So looking to see what price is going to do, but again, we'll keep you guys updated inside my update channel. So going over to CAD, you can see that we are swing bullish, but for now I'm looking for a retracement in towards the lows, or at least this demand zone, take out these lows and tap it towards that yearly level. From there I will look for longs again in towards that open supply and these liquidity highs. So with that in mind, then I would go over to EUR/CAD and expecting the opposite, because if CAD trades down lower, EUR/CAD trades up higher. So I'm expecting downside on CAD at the moment, which could mean that we see some upside on EUR/CAD. So you can see that for now we are respecting that low again and again and again, and we have now this demand zone which could push price up higher. You can also see that this yearly level acts as a support and resistance point, and we broke through that support and resistance point, and now we came back in towards that yearly level, which could push price up higher in towards these liquidity highs and this supply zone. You can also see that we are 4 hour swing bullish, so of course we would want to see those longs getting taken. So now looking at the 1 hour, I can see that this is my 1 hour swing, and then we break, or we get another swing over here. Now we have the swing turn bullish over here, and again another swing getting bullish. So you could also look at the discount prices, but for now we know that we have bullish order flow, so we don't have to tap into towards that discount prices specifically. But you can see that we still have this open demand zone. So you know that after we took this liquidity, we now have early buyers, and of course we would want to see those early buyers getting swiped. Then we would want to see some confirmation, and then I will be 100% ready to trade up higher in towards the highs, because as you can see, guys, once again mid-Asia there is a high created, and we know that those highs are very bad. So after we trade in towards this amount zone, take out those early buyers which are stepping into the market right now, and then I will be ready to look for longs. Going over to gold, my last pair, you can see that we are still at that all-time high, so I'm not going to long again, because you could easily see a retracement because you don't know what is at the left, right? I also do not want to go and look for shorts, because you can see that the bullish momentum is bullish, super bullish. So I'm just staying out of gold at the moment and waiting for further development. I hope you liked it, guys. If you liked it, leave a comment or leave a like down below, and see you in the next one. Ciao, guys.